This man once sold the Eiffel Tower for scrap metal. The buyer was so embarrassed he never told the police. So our hero simply sold it again. Meet Victor Lustig, con artist, fake count, and fluent in 5 languages, every one of them used to lie to somebody. He had 47 aliases, a spotless suit, and at all times absolutely no honest source of income. In 1925, he was in Paris, broke, elegant, and reading a newspaper. For Victor, newspapers were not news. They were a menu. One article mentioned the Eiffel Tower was rusting and cost a fortune to maintain. Most readers felt pity. Victor felt a business opportunity. He printed himself some very official government stationery and became the Deputy Director General of the Ministry of Posts. Then he invited 5 of the city's biggest scrap metal dealers to a secret meeting in a fancy hotel suite. The tragic news, he whispered, Paris could no longer afford the tower. It would be quietly torn down and sold as scrap. 7,000 tons of it. Victor didn't want the richest buyer. He wanted the most desperate one, the man most eager to believe. He found André Poisson, a nervous dealer whose name, wonderfully, is French for fish. Poisson dreamed of being respected by the Paris elite. Victor offered him the deal that would finally do it. There was one snag. Poisson's wife thought the whole thing smelled a little fishy. So Victor made a brilliant move. He leaned in and confessed that he was a corrupt official who would need a small bribe to approve the sale. And that, Poisson believed instantly. A greedy, crooked bureaucrat? Finally, something that made complete sense. Poisson paid for the tower, then paid the bribe on top. Victor thanked him warmly and caught the next train to Austria with a suitcase of cash. He nervously watched the papers for the scandal. It never came. Poisson was too humiliated to tell a single soul. Now, a normal person would quietly retire on this. Victor was not a normal person. A few weeks later, he returned to Paris and sold the Eiffel Tower a second time. This buyer actually called the police. But by then, Victor was already on a boat to America, admiring the sunset. In America, Victor upgraded. Now he was selling a small wooden box that could print money. The Romanian box, he explained, could perfectly copy any banknote you fed it. It only needed 6 hours per bill. He'd load it with a couple of real hundreds to prove it worked, sell it for thousands, and vanish. By the time the box ran out, so had Victor. Then he attempted his most suicidal con yet. He walked straight up to Al Capone. He borrowed $50,000 for a can't-miss investment. Then he did something no con man had ever done. He locked it in a vault, waited 2 months, and handed Capone back every single dollar, apologizing that the deal had fallen through. Capone was stunned. A man who could have run, who gave the money back. Out of sheer admiration, he peeled off $5,000 as a gift, which was the plan the whole time. Victor was flat broke and needed exactly $5,000. He had just robbed Al Capone by being too honest. Victor's luck finally cracked when a jealous girlfriend, furious at him, tipped off the police. He escaped to Manhattan jail on a rope of bedsheets, paused mid-climb to clean the windows so no one would suspect him, waved politely at the crowd, and was arrested days later anyway. They sent him to Alcatraz, where the greatest salesman alive finally ran out of things to sell. When he died, the occupation on his prison record read, simply, salesman. Honestly, fair. Who's the greatest con artist you've never heard of? Tell me below.